creative souls, and welcome back to Think Outside the BlueBox podcast, where we feature people just doing big things and following their dreams. And today we have a very, very special guest in the studio, a lady that we've worked together before, and she has a great story, and I'm very proud to have her on the show, Miss Kira Taylor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. How long ago was that we worked together?
About a year and a half ago now.
Wow, yeah. It's been that long.
It has been a while.
Yeah. What were we working on? It was like a commercial, right? It was
for CF Lifestyle Foundation. I was their 1,500th recipient for their exercise grant.
Okay.
And
Wow. Yeah, it's been a while. I don't even remember.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
My name is Kira Taylor. I am 21 years old, and this is my story. I was diagnosed with CF at 10 months old. My parents were pretty furious with the doctors because they wouldn't give them any answers as to why I was just so miserable and in pain. And finally, after seeing many different doctors and getting different opinions and everything, my doctor was like, okay, we need to get a sweat test and see, I think you could possibly have cystic fibrosis.
Truthfully, when she was first diagnosed, I was terrified, but then I have to admit I was actually relieved because I knew that there was something wrong with her. I'll start crying. When she was diagnosed in those years, the doctor literally just said, she might make it not till 18. So that was pretty traumatic for me.
This is my Monarch vest, which I am very thankful for because Hillrob made this, so I was very glad that my doctors...
And you're not stuck to tubings anymore.
Yes, I can move.
Yeah, that was a cool shoot.
It was really fun.
It was interesting because I remember it was raining.
Oh, that's right.
And
yeah.
I remember the hotel room that they gave you guys to shoot in had a leak. And you remember that? It had like the wet carpet.
Gosh, I totally forgot about that.
I remember that because I put my bag down and it like the whole bottom of it got soaked. So before we actually moved to the new room that they gave you.
No, I remember. Oh my gosh, yeah.
No, that was crazy. And that was for cystic fibrosis?
Yes.
For a foundation?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. I know for those of you who don't know, Kira actually was born with
cystic
fibrosis. Okay, tell us a little bit about that. What is cystic fibrosis?
So basically, cystic fibrosis is a lung disease, but it also affects all the other organs. Nowadays, it's a lot easier when it comes to medication. There's so many advancements, so people are doing a lot better, and
you can have good quality of life.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were actually born with that.
I just wasn't diagnosed till about 10 months old. But
you must have had a pretty rough 10 months.
It was. Yeah. Of course, I don't remember it.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah. What kind of things did like what kind of symptoms were you showing that your mom was kind of like, there's something wrong here?
In general, I was just a very upset baby for no reason. I was crying a lot, and the doctors didn't know if it was issues with my digestion or other things.
Yeah, because like you said, it affects everything.
Yeah.
It's not just your lungs.
And at that time, it wasn't really as known as it is nowadays. So it was more of a mystery, and they were just kind of testing me for different things. And finally, a doctor was like, I think we need to test your daughter for cystic fibrosis.
I'm glad he actually knew what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What is the actual cystic fibrosis? I know it affects your lungs and all the other stuff, but what is it exactly? Does it produce extra mucus or
yes. It does produce extra mucus, and that kind of makes it like hard to do certain things. But at the same time, like, for example, like going out into the ocean is something that truly helps a lot of people with cystic fibrosis.
Really?
Because the salty air, I don't know how to explain it. It just like helps release things in your lungs, and it just makes you feel, it makes you feel like a lot better and less mucusy.
Yeah. So you're constantly dealing with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one of your videos, and I think you did this in the video that we shot too. You have a vest.
Yes.
You have a vest that helps you breathe. How often do you have to do that?
I do that twice a day, but then also if there's like anything else going on when it comes to like me coughing a lot or just having more mucus in general, I do it like
you prepare
3 times or even 4 times a day, depending on the day, pretty much.
You'll know him when you see him by the way he looks at me. You say he on the moon, I say he on the galaxy.
I don't even remember how I found out about this specific vest because it's very new. Before, you would have to be like pretty much stuck to the wall, and you weren't able to like,
have it plugged in.
and you weren't able to like dance around or sing or anything. But now because of the Monarch, I'm actually able to do that, and so many other people. Is that
what it's called?
Yeah, Monarch vest.
Nice.
I remember it because they have like a little symbol that it's like a monarch butterfly. Yeah. It's cool. Pretty cool. But I just kind of randomly found out about it through Instagram, and I was like asking my doctor, was like, am I able to get this? Like, I don't know. And somehow, which was a blessing, insurance paid for it.
Wow.
Which is, and it's a very expensive thing. So it was.
So your doctor didn't even know that existed until you pointed it out?
They did, but I was more like the one to educate that I actually felt like I needed something different than the regular vest. Like I could tell that it wasn't doing much anymore, and I wanted to change.
So you had a regular vest then?
Yes.
Okay. Then you got the Monarch, which works way better.
It works so much better. Yeah.
Wow. What was the original one like?
It basically, it made me look like a astronaut in a way. That's what that's what I've always said. Yeah. It just like blew up, and instead of like it would vibrate, but it wasn't as efficient as this one where you can just like walk around and cook or whatever.
Mobile,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it doesn't affect your life. You don't have to have an extension cord with it. No, that's awesome. And I saw that it helps you sing too.
It does.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty fun to sing with it.
Yeah. That's a pretty gnarly sound. I'm going to play a clip for you guys so you can see it.
Nobody does it better all the way you pulled me in. You know a couple bad ones, but they all led me to him.
Other than that, like, can you sing without it?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah?
I can, yeah.
Yeah? You just, do you have to do it before you perform? You have to do the therapy or no?
Not necessarily. I mean, it does help make things easier. But in general, I've just been very blessed when it comes to my lungs. So, my lung function percentage has always been really good.
That's good.
So I've never really had like too much trouble. It's just more like a routine for me to do it more.
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of your regular day now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And then I saw that you are also taking singing lessons.
Yes, I am.
You have a coach now?
Yes.
Nice. Tell us about that.
I'm excited. It's been many years, but now I'm back into vocal lessons, and it's something that truly has been helping me a lot. Like physically and then also like emotionally, because singing in general has always been something that has helped me a lot. And being able to go back into vocal lessons and even learn more than I did before, it's pretty cool.
It's therapeutic.
It's very therapeutic.
Yeah, I've always said, and I actually have an episode of the podcast about the power of music. And it talks about that, how it has some sort of connection with us mentally, like in our brains or something, that when we listen to music, it has like this calming effect on us.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. And I could just imagine singing and getting on stage. Have you ever been on stage?
I have.
Yeah, where at?
It's, oh my gosh, I'm 23 now. So it's been since I was 17.
Wow.
But I
You're looking to get back?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to get back. But it was about from the age of like 12 to 17 is when I was performing, and I was going a lot of places, and it was a lot of fun. And that's why I want to get back at.
Why'd you stop?
Well, first of all, finishing high school. Yeah, I was pretty much like, that was my senior year, and I was like, oh, I gotta finish my senior year and focus on that first. And eventually I was like, I want to go to college. I didn't really know exactly what for, but I just decided to go and get my Associate of Arts.
Nice.
And since I got that, now, I want to explore back into
get into
singing and performing. Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by the official BlueBox shop. That's right. We have awesome swag for you to rock out your BlueBox and support the show at the same time. Head over to shop.blueboxdigital.com or scan the QR code on your screen now to check out the latest designs. Whether you need a cozy hoodie, a cool iPhone case, a backpack, or a snazzy sticker, we've got you covered. But hurry, because supplies are limited and they're going fast. We'll be dropping new designs frequently to keep the styles fresh, so get your favorite designs before they're gone. Head over to shop.blueboxdigital.com or scan the QR code on your screen and grab your gear today. You can also subscribe to Think Outside the Blue Box using the link below to get these episodes without ads and tons of exclusive content starting at only 99 cents a month. All the links are down in the show notes below. Now, back to the show. No, that's awesome. You're a very creative person. And now, do you do things other than music? You're artistic in any other way?
That's actually something I want to, get more into. Is a while ago I tried, more of like the acting, I guess you would say realm. At the same time while I used to perform, but that was hard to do at the same time. But now I've been seeing so many like voiceover castings and different things like that, and I just really like that idea. There's just so many new things nowadays, and it's way more inclusive than it was at age like when I was 13.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely something that makes me feel better, because it's a lot easier to get into.
Yeah, you're living in a great time to live with, unfortunately, with this disease.
Yeah.
Because there's so many scientific advancements, and
there really is.
Yeah. I know you're involved in a lot of like charity work and a lot of raising awareness for CF.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So right now I'm actually raising awareness and trying to get donations for the Crossing for Cystic Fibrosis event. It is which I still can't believe, it's 90 miles of paddleboarding from the Bahamas to Florida, which I still can't believe. I was like in shock. It's through Piper's Angels Foundation, and they have personally like helped me just like with peer mentoring and some assistance. But then also I just recently got their Forever Stokes program scholarship, and because of them I have my own paddleboard now, and that's something I'm going to start doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's good therapy to go out into the ocean. And
I love paddleboarding.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so awesome.
It's one of my favorite things to do, yes. Because you're just out there. It's just you and your board.
Yeah.
In the middle of the water. Sometimes you'll see dolphins kind of swim by. And it's amazing.
You must go a lot farther than I probably would.
Well, are you going to do the Bahamas thing?
No. I wish. That would be a really good goal.
Yeah.
I do need to start getting back into paddleboarding, and maybe you can tell me some good locations.
Yeah. Do you find it hard to breathe when you do certain sports and certain things?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Anything that's like out in the ocean is actually something that truly helps. So anything that's, more like soccer or like being where, more of like there's environmental aspects or like cardio, like you said, that's something.
What are the things do you have to do like on a day-to-day basis to kind of just function? I know I remember there was quite a bit of pills.
Yes.
Quite a bit of pill bottles that I remember. So what is your like daily, like day to day?
Well, in general, like you said, the pills. But I'm getting into more like the more natural side of like holistic side of medication, because I have realized my body is very sensitive to a lot of medications, and I don't know how to explain it. It just tells me, like, you don't need to be on this medication.
Yeah, because one causes side effects.
Yeah.
The other one tries to combat.
Yeah,
and it's like
exactly.
they're all trying to fight inside your body.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. What kind of stuff have you found that works, like, holistically?
Well, in general, eating, which I know some people are like, that's weird. There's not much of a difference between organic and regular food. And I'm like, there is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
For people who aren't sensitive to that kind of stuff, it might not seem that big of a deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can totally see that.
Thank you. That makes me feel good.
What kind of stuff do you do then?
I take like more like, what is it? Like supplements that kind of like help. Like, for example, like if I have like high blood sugar, there's like certain supplements you can take, like turmeric or even like cinnamon, which I found out recently.
Really?
Yeah. But if you have low blood sugar issues, then I wouldn't recommend that.
No, not cinnamon.
But just in general, like my breathing treatment, like inhaled medication, that's something I do like daily, twice a day, and the vest, of course.
The vest, yeah.
And just kind of trying to not go into places that have a lot of like stimulation when it comes to like lights or in general like smells, like really strong, like, you know, like the perfume stores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't go in there.
No. I've never been able to. I just like immediately just walk out of them and like, I'm sorry.
Even for people like me that are not so sensitive to that kind of stuff, it's still overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like when you go into that place and it's like,
I feel that. Yeah.
it's like a wall of smell.
It really is.
I don't know why they keep it like that. It's like every smell ever.
I don't know.
All mixed together.
I honestly don't know how people can handle it. I'm just like, unless you just like, you know, just suffer with the consequences.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, or if you don't even know that you're sensitive to it.
Yeah.
You know. I know my daughter, she has something called no worries. No, I want to know what your childhood was like, because I know, like, I have 2 kids, and
yeah.
they don't. I mean, they have some medical issues, but not like that. And I know it's been a challenge. So
Yeah.
like, what have you and your mom had to do? Like,
Well, a lot of, other than a lot of doctor visits, just in general, like trying to create like a more positive outlook on many different things, especially when it comes to health issues, because sometimes it can get like pretty frustrating or like even like depressing.
yeah, if you're constantly going to the doctors and
Yeah, so like anxiety is something that like for many years that, you know, I've dealt with, and thankfully it's taken me a while, but I've learned ways of like how to cope with it and like actually figure out, you know, more things that like ease the anxiety or like make me happier and stuff like that, which of course singing is like one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. What are other things that you do to kind of
I would
keep your
say
mind off of it? 'Cause
yeah.
I know it's living with something like that. I mean, you can't really get away from it. So,
Yeah.
Like, so what do you do to stay positive? Like, what would you say to somebody that has CF right now?
Well, in general, I would say just like find different ways to kind of like separate yourself from your medical issues. Like I used to have like a habit of really defining myself of like, oh, I have cystic fibrosis, you know, that's
To label.
yeah, like a label basically. And, you know, I've learned a lot of people actually with CF or like anything, like even asthma or anything else, like we tend to try to label us as just like we have this.
And then you become that.
Yeah.
Like now you're the girl with CF.
Yeah, basically.
Like you don't want that.
Yeah. I've learned over the years, especially like over the past few years, you know, as I've grown up, that it's not something that I want to like completely label myself as. Like, yeah, yes, I have it, but I'm really working on like not defining
It doesn't
myself.
define who you
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think
What other things, like, growing up, I want to talk about your childhood. I know after you got diagnosed, your mother, had to like take you to different therapies and stuff like that. Let's take it from there. What happened there?
Well, we were actually living in South Carolina at the time because that's where I'm originally from. And I don't really remember too much until like the age of
Florida.
Yeah, until we got to Florida, which was when I was like 5.
Okay.
And that was around the time I started realizing that I was like different than the other kids. And I was like, oh, this is like interesting. Like, why don't these other like kids have to, step outside of the classroom to do an albuterol puffer? Or like, why don't they have to take this medication while they eat? And at that time, it was very much more of a depressing state of how even like the news or pretty much any article was talking about cystic fibrosis. So it wasn't a good,
Yeah, I can imagine.
There wasn't very good outlets. There wasn't many ways of, like you could, well, you can't really meet people with CF that also have CF. But, there wasn't any like virtual ways like they do nowadays of how to like talk to somebody with CF like over Zoom or something and just be able to meet other people that like understand. But now it's like, it's so much easier. So, back then it was way harder and just.
And I can imagine too, kids are cruel. So when you're in school and you're a little different than everybody else, you kind of feel left out a little bit.
Yeah, that was something that I actually struggled with in elementary, and the reason why I pretty much just didn't want to go into like staying at a middle school. I was there for my 6th grade year for like probably 2 months, and I was just like, I want to do virtual school. Yeah. I was like, this is like too much. Like you said, the kids, especially at that time, were just very, they don't get it. They weren't very understanding, and people were just like, I had a lot of like experiences where people would like directly like make fun of me because I have to go leave. I have to like get out of the class before lunch early. So, of course, kids at that age see it as, oh my gosh, like you're the teacher's pet. Early, yeah. And I'm just like, what? No, like I have to go take my medicine.
Like this is not a good thing that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And that happened quite a bit in middle school.
Oh, definitely. Especially elementary and like 3rd grade is when I started realizing that kids, they will share how they feel. Oh, yeah. I don't know about it nowadays, but at that time,
no filter.
Yeah.
I remember I went to my kid's elementary school, and one of the kids called me fat.
Oh my gosh!
I'm like, oh no. But you got to take it in stride because kids are kids. But I can see how if you're a kid also in that same environment, it can be pretty detrimental. So when you started doing virtual, did that help?
It did, especially because at the time, like where we lived, there were kids, but we didn't exactly have as many kids that were from the middle school that I went to, thankfully. So it was more of like a kind of like a reset.
A fresh start.
Yeah, like a fresh start. And I eventually like started going to like homeschool groups because I was like, I need a way to meet people, not just like virtually. But it was something that truly helped because virtual school was a lot more flexible too. Like compared to public school, you had a good bit less homework in general. And if I had a doctor's appointment, the teachers would be like, oh, no, you're good. Like you can extend, a day of homework or, we can meet another time or something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. The social aspect of the virtual schools, it's just not there. So it's nice that they now have groups of homeschooled kids that can meet, like you said.
Yeah, I learned that it truly helped because when you're doing virtual school for like 2 years and then you start realizing, especially at that age, like 8th grade, I started realizing, I need to socialize more. It's good when you actually get out there and can meet people.
Make friends,
make friends. Yeah.
Have friends, and especially you're pretty social. You're
Yeah.
pretty social butterfly. So
At that time, I wasn't really, which is funny. Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Eighth. I don't know what age that I was at that time, but but that was around like 8th grade is when I finally started to like get out of my shell
Open
more.
up,
And and actually started like finding an outlet, which was singing. So it helped.
This episode is brought to you by Audible, the leading provider of audiobooks and spoken word entertainment. Audible has thousands of titles to choose from across every genre imaginable. And with the Audible app, you can listen to it anytime, anywhere, on any device. You can also enjoy Audible originals, podcasts, and stuff you won't find anywhere else. If you want to try Audible for yourself, listeners of the show get a free 30-day trial by going to audible.blueboxdigital.com. That's audible.blueboxdigital.com. You can also subscribe to Think Outside the Blue Box using the link below to get these episodes without ads and tons of exclusive content starting at only 99 cents a month. All the links are down in the show notes below. Now, back to the show. How did you find music? I know music is, I know that in my life has been a pretty huge part of it, but I can imagine for you it's a therapeutic a coping mechanism. Yeah,
it definitely is. I actually found, so America's Got Talent, you know how they're like, you can pretty much showcase any kind of talent on there. Singing was like something that back then was not as like known for America's Got Talent. You know, there was occasionally.
That was more like American Idol.
Yeah, more of that. And somehow I just like, I was amazed because I found a sister group, Christina and Allie, and at the time I was 9 years old, and I saw them perform, and it was the coolest thing because I learned that they have cystic fibrosis also.
No way.
And I was like, wow, if they're doing it, I can do it.
That's awesome.
And it really like sparked something in me, and I was like, you know, I shouldn't let this me not be able to sing just because I have CF. And eventually from there I started finding more about like how much I loved singing, and I started actually teaching myself through nowadays people probably don't know what I'm talking about, but like the the original Wii system, so the Sing It games.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they had like the lessons from like Demi Lovato and all, and well, I was a huge Demi Lovato fan, still am. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. You know, you get your celebrities to teach you. And that was pretty much like how I taught myself in a way while listening to, you know, the celebrities.
Cool. So is that what kind of introduced you into singing?
Yeah.
Like the fact that you could do it?
Yeah, it majorly, I had always loved singing. Like, you know, I would sing in my room and just have fun. Yeah. And, you know, just dance and like listen to, like Kids Bop and stuff like that. But it was the time where I actually saw that somebody, well, especially like a sister duo with CF was singing. And I was like, oh, I can do this. You know, I'm not going to let that stop me.
Yeah. No, that's good. Do you think if it wouldn't have been for that, do you think you would have still gone into singing?
Oh. Wow.
Because there's always that one point, and you keep mentioning that point because I think that was a pretty big moment for you in your life.
It really was. I think if that never happened, I might have, but I wouldn't have been as like encouraged to do it.
Gotcha.
Because that wasn't something that a lot of people, especially at that time, that people were like informing of like on social media. And now it's like grown so much more that it's, you know, it's easier to, you know, find people that with CF that also do singing or some other skill or anything. So
the internet is a game
changer. It
is.
really
It connects people that normally wouldn't be connected, you know?
It is amazing.
Because I could just imagine in a pre-internet era, somebody living with something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't really know if anybody else out there has it. You probably feel really alone at that time. I know you probably felt really, like with depression a lot.
Yeah, I definitely had, you know, have struggled with depression in the past, and a little bit recently. And that was actually something I've been thinking about, is just like how much different it would be if like at that time when I was 9, social media hadn't already started coming out and showing more. And, you know,
it definitely different. Yeah.
It would be way different.
Would have had a way different childhood. You would not be the same person.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's awesome. So now you're an adult.
Yes. I don't look like one. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you're kind of short.
See, I get that, but then also everybody, like just random strangers will just be like, "Are you 16?"
You get
or
that
like,
a lot?
yes,
Yeah.
not as much lately, thankfully.
Yeah.
But a couple years ago, people just asked me, and I'm like, no. I'm just like,
That's a good thing, though. That means you look younger than you really are. I get that all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody would guess that I'm 40 years old.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, people.
When people
think
look
you're
at me,
younger.
when people meet me for the first time, and I say I have kids, they're like, "Wait, you have kids? And how old are they? And how old are you?" And that's a good thing. That means you have good genes. You look good. You're going to be a good old person. So then your music, you found music, and then after that, like, what got you to step on the stage? Was it just like a natural progression to your singing? Like, what gave you the courage to?
So, well, I won't get emotional. I'm joking.
No, it's okay. It's just us. There's no cameras.
When I was 12 years old, I was actually, so there's a horse rescue that both me and my sister got really involved with, and like we would volunteer, but then also that was something that truly helped us because we got like, equine therapy. And at that, like before that, I had never really like truly been up to a horse and like ridden one.
Yeah.
And actually gotten to see just how therapeutic horses are. That's something that I was like, wow, this is like so different. And I got really close to the owner. Her name's Grandma Bev.
Aww.
And she knows how like she really has always been like a huge like part of my life. And at that time they were having a fundraiser for them, and I kind of surprised her. It was like, I'm gonna go sing on the little stage.
Nice.
It was just this like cute little stage, and I was just like, there were like a good bit of people, it was a fundraiser, and it was just like a really chill time, and people were having food, having fun. And then little old me, 12 years old, goes up and is like, I'm gonna sing, and I'm gonna sing this song, for Miss Bev. And that was,
so you sang it for her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And that was like literally the first time I had ever really sang that wasn't in like choir in elementary school.
Yeah. As part of a group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I saddening you? Okay. Thank you.
The reason why I started this podcast is to inspire people, and I think you have one of the most inspiring stories
Thank you.
of anybody that's ever reached out to me. So I'm glad that you decided to come on the podcast.
I was very excited. I was like, when I found out that you had a podcast, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm always trying to get people in here, and like season 1, when I did season 1, I got to the point where I was just letting everybody in.
Yeah.
And, it just kind of got watered down a little bit. But this time I want to be a little bit more picky about my guests.
That's cool.
And I'm glad you reached out to me, because I was actually thinking about reaching out to you.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I got to get this girl on here.
Well, thank you. This has been amazing.
Yeah, no, this is great. And my hope is that somebody watching, even if it's one person watching.
I like that.
That's it.
Yeah.
If I can change one person's mind or one person's life, I've done my job.
I really like that. You should franchise the quote, or
Yeah.
I think that's the word. I don't know.
Yeah, copyrighted.
Copyrighted, yeah.
Yeah, no, and because I wish that when I was trying to start my creative journey that I had somebody like this kind of showcasing that people from all walks of life, you know, they can be an artist, they can, you know, get the benefits from art, like you, like your therapeutic singing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that you even found that, you know, it's great, because a lot of people they don't even try, and they don't get the benefits like you did.
Yeah, I've met a lot of people that like, especially over the years, and you know, when I used to perform a lot, I've met people that they would be like, well, close to my age, and they would be like, oh, I've never really, you know, like tried anything artistic, and I'm like, why?
Why? Yeah.
And they'd just be like, oh, I don't think I would be good at it, and I never know what to say, because I'm like,
you don't know.
There's so many
try.
different artistic avenues.
Yeah. Anything, cooking can be artistic.
Oh yes,
you know,
I love cooking.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, like anything creative can be artistic, and you can express yourself in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, chefs, they love what they do.
Yes.
You know, and singers love what they do. Videographers love what they do.
Yeah.
Podcasters love what they do. But yeah, let's leave our guests with these final words of encouragement. If you have just one thing that you would like to say to somebody that's suffering with something like what you have, what's the one thing that you never, you know, lost track of?
I would say in general, like anyone that has like any kind of health issue, or even like anxiety, depression, like any kind of just something that, you know, will kind of bring you down occasionally, that it is important to find an outlet, because having like even just like one kind of outlet, even if it is like going outside and taking photos of birds, or like surfing or whatever
it is,
it really does help. And I think being able to stick to that outlet, and even if you have to like come back a couple like years later, go back to the outlet like more, and actually like own it more. Yeah,
no, that's awesome. You own it.
Yes.
Kira, you own it, girl. Well, thanks again for coming by,
Thank
Kira.
you.
This was amazing. Is there anything else that anybody you want to shout out, or any websites or anything that you'd like to push?
That's something that I'll be working on soon. Is
The website.
Yeah.
Where are you on social?
So I'm trying to push my like Instagram more, and Twitter, and just like I have like a Facebook music like page that I have not used in a good bit, but it's going back there. And just in general, like I really love supporting causes, not just people that have like CF, which that is like very dear to my heart,
Very personal,
obviously.
Yeah.
But just also like other organizations that truly are doing good in the world, because it's, you know, we need to see more of like positive things that are going on, and more people that are helping others in many different situations.
Yeah, I mean, there's groups and you know, there's organizations out there that are doing amazing work, and they don't expect anything in return.
Exactly.
And those are the kind of organizations that I love, and I don't mind giving my money to, you know, and supporting. So which you said in the beginning of the podcast you were part of. What is it?
Okay. So I am a virtual paddler, only because at this moment I am not going to paddle 80 miles. So hopefully someday I will do it.
You could do it virtually though?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a virtual paddler for Piper's Angels Foundation's Crossing for CF event. And right now I'm just trying to, you know, get more donations, or even just get more people to share about it, because their actual foundation has helped a lot of people, including myself and my family. And it's just truly like something that a lot of people should be more aware about. And it's definitely a very different foundation, because yes, it is geared towards people, you know, that have cystic fibrosis, but it's more of the aspect of being able to actually get out like on the ocean and paddle, or just like have an outlet and meet people that are very kind-hearted and, you know, want to also have like connections to other people with CF, or even just people that are, you know, mentors that may or may not have CF. And it's just a really good, cool opportunity, and I want to help spread more awareness about it. But I can also link my specific fundraising page, and I joined a team, so it's, you know, it's easier. But then also it's helped me meet other people with CF and kind of have like more of a connection than I did years ago. Yeah. But it's cool because it's more of like a community, not just, oh, we all have CF.
Yeah, it's like a pity party almost.
Yeah.
So it's more like a community. It's more like a family. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Also, well, a couple years ago, I got connected with Claire's Place Foundation, and Claire Wineland, she had cystic fibrosis, and she was a major advocate for it, and did TED Talks and just so many incredible speaking opportunities. Well, she sadly passed in 2018, but today would have been her 26th birthday. So I was like, oh, I want to mention it because they have her mom and her team have truly helped like me and my family, just like with support. And then also the Work Proudly program. And it's given me an opportunity to actually like be able to get a certificate in something that I love. And I just wanted to, I don't want to get emotional. But it's just been amazing to see over like the past few years that I've been connected to her mom, who is so incredible and sweet. Just exactly like how much they continue to help people with CF and their families, like in her honor. It's, it's still going on after all these years of, her past, and just kind of, I like that they're, keeping her memory alive and continuing to share.
I'm actually here to talk about how do we change the way that we treat sick people? How do we stop pitying them and we start empowering them?
Yeah, I'm glad we're shooting today.
Yeah, me too.
So happy birthday.
I like that.
If you take anything from my little talk, it's to cherish every second and make the best out of what you have.
Stick to your dreams and they will come true.
Try and find the things in your life that make you happy to be there at the moment. And you can really face anything.
Just try, That's all I ask.
Anything else before we leave? No?
No, I mean, just be on the lookout. No, I'm joking.
Be on the lookout for the Kira podcast.
Not podcast, but eventually, soon, I am starting to want to get back into performing and, kick that up again.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Kira. Thanks again for coming on and telling your story, and hopefully inspiring somebody out there with something similar.
Thank you. This has been amazing. Very exciting, and just so incredible to see you after a year and a half.
Yeah. And for us, is going to be a BlueBox podcast. We're going to be on TikTok, Instagram. We actually have a website, podcast.blueboxdigital.com. We're on Spotify. We're everywhere. So all the links are in the description down below. All of Kira's links are going to be down there as well. So if you want to support her cause, head down there. And that's going to be it for us. Thanks again.
Hey, thank you.
I appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye. You snuck that in there. I love it.